Ah yes, it is the time yet again where a new gacha game has arrived, and as per usual, there are a lot of things you can take care about if you want to optimize your early game. So let's talk about the most important things to focus early on for a great account start in Arknights Endfield. Before we start, a quick disclaimer or two. Playing for fun is much more important than optimizing your first few days. Your account will not be bricked if you don't do these things, and if you simply do not have the time or enjoy rushing things, do not sweat about it. Lastly, all footage and information is taken from the previous beta, and while it is unlikely that many things changed, I do want to mention that there is a possibility of that being the case. That out of the way, let's begin. Arknights Endfield is a gacha game after all, and that also means premium currency is a thing. And with premium pulls being somewhat rather rare in this game, that also means not only is managing the premium currency very important, but also how you can acquire it. The most consistent income of premium currency are the dailies, and dailies are unlocked at the end of the first main story, shortly before heading into Vale when you reach this bridge. Depending on how much you skip or sidetrack, it will take a good 2 hours to reach this part. Unlocking the dailies, however, does not only give you a daily income of premium currency, but also a lot of experience for your account level, called authorization level. The main story chapters as well as the character equipment blueprints are locked behind your authorization level, and each level will reward you with additional premium currency as well. Means if you want to get to the endgame as soon as possible, or simply obtain as many pulls as possible for the highest chance to get to the current rate up banner character, getting your authorization level up there is pretty important. And as a small note on the character equipment blueprints, some of them are also locked behind exploration, such as finding certain chests. Account experience is primarily acquired through the main story and dailies, but there are many more sources of income scattered throughout the world that are definitely noticeable over time. So let's talk about them. The one-time nodes will you provide with at least 6840 EXP, but are also gated behind your progression and account level. Dailies will provide you with up to 1150 XP every day, unlocking new waypoints will provide 80 experience, and successfully completing an SOS puzzle will provide 50 as well as 20 of the premium currency. Opening chests will also provide a lot of experience, with the actual amount depending on the rarity and type of chest. And spending your stamina in the farming stages will provide 60 account experience for every 10 stamina you spend. Given no refreshes or stamina refill items, we get to spend at least 160 stamina a day, which means we can obtain 960 account experience every day at the very minimum. Please note that your stamina limit will increase with your authorization level, which means you get more experience a day over time. You will also receive a lot of stamina refill items early on, but I would highly recommend you to save those for better drops later into the game, rather than spending them early on for account experience. Furthermore, the AIC simulation provides tutorials to teach you how the factory system works, and successfully completing each of them will provide not only set account experience, but also some premium currency, and some blueprints are also locked behind the system. Means at least to a certain degree we are required to do some of these anyway. You will also find a lot of these gather spots, and while each of them only provides 10 account experience, you will find hundreds of them, which also means they will quickly add up over time and is a very good source of account experience, at least early on. They will also provide for materials for your characters and weapons, which is honestly just a nice bonus and non-negligible early on as well. Some of these spots are also rather hidden and may require you to solve some sort of small puzzle to access them. Lastly, you will also find these Orilins all throughout the overworld. Those are one-time collectibles and can be handed in at every waypoint. Doing so will provide a good chunk of account experience and materials, but most importantly is also the best source for Origeometry, the paid premium currency. While Origeometry can usually only be obtained by spending money, this is one of the very few one-time sources to actually obtain those. They can be exchanged for additional stamina at an incremental rate, and they are also needed to buy the second Battle Pass lane. This Battle Pass lane costs 29 of them, and the cool thing is, fully completing the Battle Pass will return up to 32 of them. which also means if you complete the Battle Pass every single season, it will pay for itself. On the other hand, that also means this is one of the most valuable currency in Arknights Endfield, and I would highly recommend you to use them wisely. Please do not spend them mindlessly for stamina refreshes. Having that said, let's talk about some more general advice for your characters. Characters, their skills and talents, as well as weapons require materials to be leveled, which hopefully aren't breaking news to most people, and the breakthroughs as well as skills require special time-gated materials. These materials can be found in specific growing spots in the overworld, and they are, well, as I just said, time-gated, respawning at a rate of 1 material every few hours. Because leveling characters, weapons and skills can get very expensive later on, I would highly recommend to search out and start gathering these resources as soon as possible, potentially even day 1. You will need them, and you will need a lot of them. You can also start growing them in the growth chamber on board of the Dijang, but especially early on that will not only take a long time, but also has a very low return. Speaking of leveling already, level your characters early on. Especially good to level are the Administrator and Chen, but also Perliker is pretty good. Getting them up to level 20 is not too expensive on your resources and will allow you to tackle some challenges early on, such as these mini-bosses in the overworld. They are usually accompanied by locked chests, and defeating them will, well, unlock those chests, looping us back to the account experience and early materials topics from before. You will also find recycling stations scattered in the overworld, and they provide you once a day with some of these materials. Those are needed to upgrade the various chambers on the ship, and unlocking and upgrading these recycling stations is pretty important to do. The earlier you start with those, the better. Speaking of materials, do yourself a favor and do not waste time manually farming plants and minerals in the overworld. Well, outside of the aforementioned skill and breakthrough mats, of course. You will have tens of thousands very quickly and also somewhat-ish early into the game, so just manually farming those does absolutely nothing but simply waste your time. However, there's also this crafting manual menu, and you will get rewards for collecting a certain amount of specific items. A lot of these are obtainable through the AIC factory system, such as bug flowers, so farming those is not worth it. But some collectibles, such as glow bugs or meat, are not. Means while it is not worth to spend any time manually collecting those flowers, collecting the bugs or meat is. At least if you care about the premium currency you can get from this. The purple items are mini-boss drops and also only obtainable by defeating those. I think they actually respawn daily, don't quote me on that, but they do respawn, so if you want those currencies, you will need to repeatedly defeat those mini-bosses. And with that being said, I honestly think the game does a pretty good job at walking you through everything you need to know about it, and I think it is also surprisingly hard to actually miss a lot of things. And yes, the game also has an honestly overwhelming amount of currencies, but I think you will get a better understanding of those by actually playing the game rather than watching a video about it. I tried including that here to some degree, but it felt more confusing than actually helpful. Means we are at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment about your first impressions about Arknights Endfield down below, and join the Discord. A special thanks to my YouTube and Patreon members who make this content possible. If you wish to support me, you will find a link to my Patreon in the description, or click the join button right below this video. And as always, I appreciate all of you and wish you a great day. Peace!